We are live here with the ROX Mods, and we are out here at Northwest Ohio, one of our classics. And we are setting up for qualifying here. We got a pretty good field, a lot of returning drivers as the yellow flag comes out. You guys can go. It's a yellow flag. If somebody doesn't go, you can pass them. Just let Jen be the pace setter. Our time will start once we hit the start-finish line. So let's try to keep it reasonable. I know it's a big track, almost about 3 miles in length. But yeah, so let's get on to our field so far. We might have more people join up in a bit. But we got drivers like Jen. We haven't seen him since Augusta. Del Ross, actually, for once, making a very long since desired return. Cat, of course, a staple in the field. He's at 5-1. These two have fallen short of wins in the past. They've gone so close. No cigar. Same for the person up in the front. Of course, Gearum, an absolute legend, making his way back in the field as well as the OG of Nikolaz. So we're going to put that stream up on announcements for everyone to see. We'll try to get a good one up. So we are set for that. Lights are going out. Once we hit the second to last turn, we're going to be set to go green. Got a 6-car field so far. Maybe we can see more, I'm not quite sure. That being said, watch yourselves. Because a green flag has come out to the racetrack. It's going to be 5 minutes of qualifying. Jen is going to be the first off, going a little bit wide, Dale right behind. And that is your 5-minute start. And we're going to head now to get a photo-esque thumbnail, hopefully. A little laggy. Alright, now we make our way through the carousel, as so affectionately named. I think that's it. Dale Ross actually making the pass. We're going to clear out the lap times. Crucian taking over Shuffle's car. Of course, the lone Freedom Racing machine in the field. As we don't have a camera on him, but you can see the blue number 15 Freedom Racing car. 57 Pepsi machine being taken over by Jen, as he's lost his famous Marlboro card. Now Dabcat side by side with Jen, and he's going to go a little bit harder on the brakes at the braking point, but Jen is going to carry that speed on the exit. But what about Dabcat on the second part of that chicane? Both of them making a round side by side into sector 3. Only a handful of turns to go. Very short qualifying, as you can tell. So it does matter to try to avoid those cuts where you can, otherwise you'll be put on the randomizer. Dabcat closing in that gap to Dale Ross. Jen is going to be the only lone valid lap time, 1:37.865, slapping the wall off turn 1. You can see an Austin power supply T7J. But how about Dabcat? Oh, Jen going to go around, spinning out on the carousel. Oh, it looked like this lap is already a bit of a throwaway. Might clear out some of the stress from being up at the front, or it could hurt him if he's not seeing the lines that the top dogs are doing. So far as to stand, he is the fastest car. Here MFX 2 with a purple sector 1. Now that's a very familiar theme for me to say, but it's been a long time since. I believe his last entry was Plymouth. I also believe that was his last victory. It was Plymouth Motor Speedway. One of the last Midwest races we had. other than Indy. Of course, we're back to the Midwest for about a month as we get to enjoy these beautiful fall colors. So there's Dabpack cutting it tight. Durham connecting two purple sectors. We might be seeing a potential quick time. Meanwhile, Del Ross is looking good on Sector 1 and Sector 2. Nikolau's with improvements, so we'll be watching those times as they make their way down the front straightaway. And Dale takes a quick time. How about Nico? What about Giram with a 134.491? Now setting up the top time. That's going to be a very tough time to beat. Dabcat and Nikolau's get a little bit loosey-goosey, but it looks like Dabcat's going to carry the momentum down the first chicane, down through the carousel now. And there is the infamous cheese wedge luring and lurking right behind the 95. He's going to carry speed. Through the S's onto the straight, gets loose. That might have been a corner cut, but he got a purple Sector 1 regardless. We'll be seeing if that stands into Sector 2. Of course, Giram is an absolute monster man out here in the field. One of the greatest. We saw that skill last year going up against drivers such as Gohan and Twin Turbo V6. We got a little bit of a pack here in that second place spot. Dale off on his own. It does not look like an improvement in Sector 2. However, if he gets string together, he could be looking to go even for another quick time. We'll see. And I think we just might cut down the time enough to make it to the white flag. Got about 20 seconds on the clock. However, Del Ross with plenty of track. And that's true. We'll be seeing the white flag. Nico's going to go around. That might force him to back it up a little. Carry some momentum or something. But, that being said, we're in the white flag once you cross the start-finish line. And Giram did not improve that lap time. And something is wrong, dearly wrong with Nico. That is his second spin. And I wonder if he's having controller issues. And Giram out into the woods. How the fuck did that happen? And it looks like Giram's gonna pull it back. That leaves us with Dabcat and Dale in the front of the field again. There, if you are not yet crossing the start-finish line, you'll be heading to your white flag. If you just crossed it, then you're currently under white flag. Del Ross is making his way through Sector 2. One of the more, as some describe as a boring sector. There is some technical turns. Of course, the sand traps out into this third straight into the chicane. This is a major point, especially on the chicane exit. We could potentially see something improving here for Del Ross. Maybe Dabcat could string together a lap. We got 3 cars without lap times whatsoever. And for Dabcat to string something might be important for him. But how about Del making his way across the front stretch now? Crossing the start-finish line. Goes second on the board. Checkered flag is out. Dabcat going to come across in second. Passes Jen. We'll see if that's going to stand. It looks like it, judging by the fact that East 951 going to pass Dabcat. This time for Jen is going to put him to the rear. As it stands, Dale Ross set for his second place start. Nikolau's going to spin across the line in third. Let's see who else is out there. I think we have Giram and Jake. We'll be set to start a race in just a bit, so if you guys can head to the pit lane, we'll be clearing out all the extra ROX mods, playing the anthem, and then we'll get to our show. Looks like Giram is going to pull it in. Jake with an improvement on Sector 2. And he is going to set a valid lap this time of 138.998. 997. Alright, so we're going to clear out the cars. And if you guys can line up in the pit lane single file. The following order will be Guillermo Del Ross, Nikolaus, East 951, Dabcat, Jen, and if Jake chooses so, you can race starting up at 7. Unless I just delete your pace car, then I could spawn it back in if you want. We'll see what Jake wants. This is going to be a 20-lap race, as you saw. It should be done pretty quickly. Oh, God. Are we talking about a pit stop here? We saw that twice now with Twin. Oh, God. Oh, we'll see how that goes. Now, of course, as we know that the road courses have a different caution format than the ovals. It's a lot more direct. If you guys could hop out of your cars, turn off your motors. We'll be playing the national anthem. Of course, we do not do spin cautions in the road courses. So this could be a green flag race today. Let me turn off Jen's car. As we get to look at that beautiful Ohio sunset. As let me see if I can find the Star Spangled Banner. And that I can. Alright. So, I would ask you to take off your hats, however, it's Lego, so we're going to proceed with the anthem. Stand by. Alright, drivers, gentlemen, start your engines. We're a symphony of 3 different manufacturers roaring to life. It's going to be a 20-lap race with 2 pace laps. We'll get it started as soon as everyone's in their cars. If you're not ready, this is your opportunity to hop out. Reminder that corner cuts are really not going to be a factor today. So, the only thing I ask is that you try to keep your cars on the track. It's 2 pace laps. First one is to make sure the system works. Second one is to get ready. So, reminder again, just try to get up to 100, and then once you're ready, you're ready. Yep. That being said, everyone is to their cars, I believe. So, the yellow flag is going to come out. Go in the car, and if he goes. It goes from the back to the front. In the 27, it is T7 Jake. Starting us off in 7th place. So, 7-car field here today. Up there in 6th place, returning in the 57 is Revolter Ets the Fallen, an old G from beauty days. He's known for being struck by lightning. In the 57 Pepsi car starting us off in 6th place, it is Jen. Up ahead, representing GGS, the lone GGS car in the field in the 26, going to be Dabcat. Starting us off in fifth place. Now into fourth place, the first car short of the podium is going to be East 951 in the equally well named and cleverly done East 951's car being the 951. First car on the podium is the 95, being operated by the Trinity man himself, the OG King, Nikolaj, Season 1 SLC winner. Dale Ross, the second place car, taking over Shuffle's machine for today, representing GMG and Freedom Racing. And forgive me for calling Dabcat the lone GGS car. It's been a while since I've seen Guillermo in the field. That's the term I've about given Dabcat. As a legend himself in the cheese wedge. We make our way under the Sargento cheese bridge in just a moment. Let's have a look at that. It's going to be Guillermo FX2 as your pole sitter in the 45-A Sargento cheese wedge. Now, we've always had a big history of big races here. We could look back to last year when we had literally like 20 spectators for some reason. Thanks to Jason's thing. That was a fun time. Oh, it's something with Giram. Stopped at the front straight, but it'll teleport back up through the field. So, lights are going to go out. One lap to go. Once we hit the Sargento Cheese Bridge, we're going to be going 60 miles an hour. We'll be going green on the front straight. Reminder, no passing until you cross the start-finish line. Unless there's an exception. However, knowing you guys are all high-caliber drivers, I don't think that's going to need to happen, but we will see. Guillermo FX2 is a heavy hitter. Del Ross tends to be strong on the ovals, but he does have a bit of history in the road courses. We've definitely been practicing a lot of that in iRacing, at least from what I think I've heard. This is just a little bit of a fun race for him, but we'll see what he can do. So,
Probably gonna want to fix Dab's laps.
That is cut. Oh, I will fix our laps though. Remember, cuts are not going to be a factor today. Just, I'm going to ask you guys to stay, obviously not intentionally cutting, but if you go off by accident, it's not the end of the world. If you get like 100 cuts, I'm probably going to look into that, to say the least. So, obviously, I'm not saying you can't cut, I'm just saying if you get like a small cut here and there, it's not a big deal. I'm looking at you though. Oh, Nico. Alright, 60 miles an hour. Get into your spots. And do not pass the car ahead of you until you cross the start-finish line, or if I could call it out. If you do, then just give it back by the lap, however many positions you've taken. That being said, we are green on the racetrack. We're about to pass Dabcat. Clean start. We are side by side heading into turn 1. And Dale takes the lead, but he's up there with Guillermo FX2, both of them going heavy into turn 2. The chicane now out of it. Dale Ross is going to have the better exit, but he's only ever so slightly ahead of Guillermo FX2. A cheese wedge coming in like a bullet. However, Dale Ross was looking good, but Guillermo is going to have a rebound. I'm going to give a little bit of a warning to Guillermo, but no penalty or really anything necessary, just kind of a... I think that was accidental, so I'm going to leave it aside. But as it stands, East 951 has moved up to 3rd place as well. Here's Nikolaj looking at the battle for 3rd place. Dabcat right behind them, looking to mix things up a little bit in that cooking pot. Nikolaj is going to carry more speed on the exit as they make their way now into this pretty much the sand trap is what I like to call this, a sand trap sweeper. Out into the 3rd straight, closing into the last chicane. That goes under the Sargento Bridge. And Nico is going to established himself back to third place. How about what's going up front? Some issues there with Del Ross. Guillermo FX2 kind of running away with it. Has a good amount of speed here. East 951 loose on his sets, and look at Jake as well. Good recovery though. Guillermo FX2 going to the pit lane. Nikolaus takes the lead side by side with Del Ross. Calamity in the field. Look at that, folks. 3 cars going out for third place, but they are right behind your leaders. Nikolaus currently the car in first place. Del Ross in second, but Guillermo FX2 side by side with DGS teammate up Dabcat. As they make their way into the S's. Guillermo said he was going to do something funny, and I think this might be that might have been the shake-up that I guess pretty much everyone is expected. Now there is a trend we've noticed. Leaders hitting and then winning. You might see that become a trend here. A lot of these guys are really locked in, a very competitive field, very tightly knit here. As once you have Protos join the field, hi Proto, it must be a little weird seeing the 57 Pepsi car. We're nearly 3 wide for the third place spot. Oh, it's Twin. I was pleasantly surprised to see Twin. An absolute legend here, some history. Again, Twin being one of those guys that has pulled that move of doing a pit stop. And meanwhile, Guillermo's going to do a move into third place. Good job. He's 551. Dabcat going to go around off the final turn. Can we try to keep it on the track, folks? Didn't really gain much out of it, but still. Guillermo FX2 has the lead on his sight. Del Ross going to get loose, and oh my god, what just happened to Guillermo? I mean, not Guillermo, Jen. Little right flick there, but what about Nico? Side by side, 3-way battle for the lead. They go 3 wide into the S's, but out of it, East 951, that is your warning. Do not do that again. Give up some time. You're clear. Nikolaus is going to lose. Oh, and Del Ross going all the way around. They're going to do a full 360. And that's going to be a big mistake made there. There could be an opportunity to recover, but we are still side by side for the lead. That is a very tricky turn. It has gotten countless drivers before. There's not really a name to that place, but I've seen drivers of the names of Eris. Guillermo himself has fallen there. I've fallen there. Just go a little bit too wide, hit that wall. It has been extended from the pass, but he can only do so much with that. And also a warning to what the fuck is Dell doing? And apparently Dell's done some yard work. They'll be rejoining the track from alternatives means. I'm going to give you a 5-second penalty, Dale. I believe that was cutting and rejoining the track with advantage, so that will be added to your post race. So that is going to be the one penalty. Is Dale Ross with 5 seconds, which might be a bit underwhelming to say the least, but if he does that again, we will be a little bit harsher about it. Dabcat and Jake currently kind of going out in the back. We've got Guillermo currently in the front. And they've been making their way little by little up the field. We're going to fix this lap. Oh, Nico gonna get loose on the second to last turn, and Guillermo does another pit stop. Self-penalizing move. You know, Dale, if you could do a stop and go, I'll undo your penalty. Yeah. I will give you that opportunity if you do go to the pit stop. Oh, and Guillermo gets into the... Holy smokes, we might actually see a new winner today. Big mistake made there by Guillermo. Actually, so I'll cut that back. Dale, if you could do a drive-through, doesn't matter how fast you go, if you could do a drive-through in the pits, I'll let you for chain. And we'll put back time penalty. God, that was a huge error made by Guillermo FX2. You see Jen drifting it. I do not regret lowering the horsepower to 650. It looks like people are still having a lot of issues here. But we'll be watching Dale, seeing if he does intend to do the pit stop strat. Might put it behind here, but it might still save his day. East time 5-1. Guillermo FX2, look at that drift through the Sargento Bridge. Oh, he's going to go all the way out of shape. Let's see if Dale does a pit stop. And that he does. Oh my god, Guillermo is just absolutely trying to recover what he can. I'm surprised that didn't penalize him as much. You know what? You listen to what I said, so just don't do that again, Dale. Please. We're kind of just out here for fun. I mean, there's really nobody that can influence the championship that's in this field. So this is for pretty much everyone competing a fun race. Oh my god, what a loose. A great save by Dale. Really, the only one that I think that could shake things up could maybe be Dab, but I think he's only really here for points, running in the back of the field with hopes to get the third place, or to hope he can maybe lock in third in the championship standings. So we are now quarter way done in today's race. Dale Ross has fallen back into the 5th place spot. There's a mass of cars battling for third. Current one at the front of that, of course, is East 951. As Nikolaj is pretty much on his own race here. Could be on a situation where he could win, but he's going to have to basically hold off 5 seconds of a gap here, or more, against probably the highest caliber driver you could ever go up against. Of course, Guillermo made that huge spin earlier, but he is recovering. He's managed to get all the way back into 2nd place, as East 951 currently driving in 3rd place, holding off Shen, who was worried about his pace earlier on before the race started, but it looks like things are going pretty good for the 57. A great exit off of 1, as he closes down into 2. Oh, East 951 getting a little loose. Here comes Jen. Dale Ross as well, looking to mid seats up. Once again, the stirring pot for the podium spot, which there is one here. Been absolute madness. Oh, Jen! Oof. Grushin gonna do a spin, but gets back going pretty much right away. I think that is a gap that he can still recover with good driving. As Guillermo is frozen on the track, but he does get back going. That Australian Wi-Fi, notorious. But he does seem to keep on rolling, so he's probably in the good. But how about East 951? Again, another victim to the tire barriers on the turn after the back straight. That's been causing issues as long as there's been history on this track. It's been reprofiled, but you know, it's still, it looks like it's been causing quite a few issues here today. And another spin for East. might be seeing his old roommate there, T7J, closing that gap. She does look like Dabcat might be closer, so let's look at the action up front here. I think we're about spread out. Oh, Guillermo once again spinning out in a high-speed sector. Here comes Jen into second place. Del Ross right behind could absorb that third place position, but Guillermo's back in motion. But may be slightly regretting those pit stops he's done earlier. Now that he's had some on-track issues. A lot of on-track issues. Here he goes around again. I'm not sure what is causing his car to be as loose as it's been. Looks like he got to try. And as we hear from chat, we got Guillermo screaming, "God damn!" And this race might actually see an unexpected winner. None of the drivers outside of Guillermo FX2 have won this season, so we might be seeing another new one this year. Got a couple of previous winners, of course. We've forgotten Del Ross, who has won at South Bend among a couple of other short tracks. There might have been a road course win in that midst. Currently third place. Jen currently in second place, and he's never won a race, but he's been racing in SLC for a very long time. Practically season 1 back in 2018, before we even did A chassis, back in the old Union days, as well as the OG in the 95. Both these guys have a lot of history in SLC. I really don't think so. I'd love to be proven wrong. He's definitely won. I think he's probably won in Toby Development or CC, but I can't really recall an SLC race. Of course, Dabcat has his win in the sprint cars and C951. He's up the front. And Guillermo is... What the fuck is happening to Guillermo? Complaining about not having grip. Is your tires... I wonder if his tires are worn down or something. I don't think we have tire wear. But that's something I'm going to look into post-race. But something about Guillermo is just gone. He's gone from hero all the way back down to zero. I promise you I'm going to check this car after the race. All the cars have the same setups, but... some serious issues for the 45A. Currently in 6th place, considering retirement from the field. That is a lot of breathing room. Dabcat, Jen battling with Del Ross a little bit, but East 951 and Dabcat, this is the closest one for position to battle for 5th place. As Guillermo FX2 rolls it down into the pit lane, spins out on entry. We really don't know what happened. If you want to do an interview, we can. Let me fly, Guillermo. Your skill issue? Do you want to do interview? And rust before you see heat? Looks like the 45A will be pulling off the track today, so again, everyone in this field is not won this year. I also forgot to mention Jake, who has several wins in the GTI class. I'll just give you 5 for the meanwhile. There is Nico closing into the halfway point. Cross flags are out. We are halfway done. And with 10 laps to go, it's Nico on. Alright. Have a good day there, Guillermo. Sorry about what happened. We're gonna look into what we're gonna look into what happened and hopefully Hopefully it's nothing. I swear they're all the same cars, so I'm not going to be tweaking. Anyways, the battle between East 951 and Guillermo has been raging on, as well as Dale Ross and Jen. Again, the battle for second place. We'll be watching them both as they go along. East 951 making the pass into turn 1, but Gap got down the inside. How about for second place through the S's? Looks like Dale is a little bit ahead. How about Dapcat going around, flipping the outside wall. Outside wall, that is a very, very equally notorious spot. I think I remember Arishnetta doing that a year or two ago. At the start of the race, actually. Let's see what's going on in second place. As it stands, it is currently Dale Ross and Jen, with Nico Allens having about 10 seconds to breathe here. Should be enough spot to practically spin and still be okay. And I actually do not remember the last time that Nico's won at this facility. It's been quite a bit of time. Probably back in the GTI days before the ROX mods became common. Or it could have been in the mids commons. I'd like to probably check that one. I wasn't expecting it to be as absolutely dominant as it's been today. As Dad had again another spin, another issue. It's been a very tough track today. Of course, the 1.5 ROX mods are about as drifty as they've ever been. They are easier to save once you get loose, but they get loose a lot easier. On a track as technical and full of turns as this one, you know, that could be a very easy issue there. But the walls almost being as close as like a street circuit in some sections. That's kind of a recipe for disaster. As it stands though, Del Ross and Jen, your closest cars, I believe. We're down to 6 machines. Again, Jen was genuinely fearful that he was going to be last today, but as it's shown, he's been running the consistency game. He is a very solid third place. Dale Ross going to go all the way around. Will he keep his third place spot? I think so. So he's on route for that. Unfortunately, that'll settle that second place battle. East 951, who was in second, has a good place to get up there, but currently stands confidently in P4. That is going to leave the lone Revolter at the Fallen to chase your leader in the 95, the Polish Porsche of Nikolaus. Again, pretty much a Friday evening cruise. He's been running a very clean race. Very familiar with the track. I think has about as much experience as any of these drivers combined. He knows all the crooks and crannies and maybe some of the bumps and grannies, pretty much. Everything short of the... Let's see, probably, maybe there's a couple places he's never spun at before, but he certainly has seen people do it. So Nicola's pretty much out on track, looking at a pretty solid drive here, I think. I don't think that's going to change at all. And we'll be watching Dale here. Dale's going to make his way under the Sorrento Bridge and through Sector 3. Jen is just a straightaway ahead of him. We'll be closing down to the last 5 laps in a little bit. About 2 laps here. does look like Nico has put his car into some form. I would almost say overdrive. Overdrive isn't necessarily faster. Actually, a lot of drivers complain about the 5th gear being a little bit too long. One of those actually on screen, that's East 951. Dale. But something about Nico on this track, it is just really his natural grounds. It's a place that he has done for so long. I mean, he's seen the track change over the years. There used to be a hairpin here, and now it's a chicane. I think, honestly, the chicane has been a pretty welcome improvement. Let's see what the drivers think that. As we'll be watching against second place, Del Ross closing down a little bit here to Jen. Still has a long way to go. As looks like Twin will be pulling off the race. I think he confidently thinks he knows who he expects to win. As that gap has just been extending little by little. But we got this potential battle for second place coming up here. I think Jen made a mistake on turn 1. It was hard to tell. I couldn't see the angle. It looked like it's going trajectory-wise a little wide. Might not be, though. Making our way down the carousel. And now right into Little Kink. We built the Firestone Bridge there just last year with the new grandstands, and I honestly think it's one of the more welcome things. And Dale, if you could please try your best to stay on track. At least through the S's. Jen is going to have a bit of interest tonight. Actually kind of worked out in his favor. Looks like a slow in, fast out, but Jen is being tailed very closely by the Freedom Racing car. And he keeps on getting loose in a lot of these turns, and the 15 has just been closing him down little by little. We got 5 laps to go, of course, so the last quarter of the race here. Those laps tick down little by little. By far, I would say probably one of the prettier tracks out here, but let's look at what's going on. About 4 car lengths separating Jen from Del Ross. And Jen keeps getting loose. Dale's going to close in that gap. Please do the S's correctly this time. I'll count that. Whatever you guys want to do. Iffy there, so we're fine. So Del Ross closing the gap down. Jen got loose a tiny bit just a couple turns ago, and only about a car length separating these two guys. A little bit of lag, so hold up there as we try to figure out what's going on. Looks like Dale got loose a tiny bit. That's going to cost him a couple of tenths, but again, still very much so in fighting range. Both these guys pretty much are the track limits as a suggestion, so I'll just let it slide. Meanwhile, East 951 and Dabcat, a sudden battle. I don't know when it started, maybe a lap or 2 ago. They're going at it. We'll be watching them. We'll be watching what's going on in second place as well, but Dale's going to get loose again. Goes all the way to the old layout. East 951 and Dabcat, the battle for 4th place raging on, as the battle for second place also going on as well. East 951 just about 3 or 4 car lengths behind Gap, closing in that gap little by little. Same could be set between Jen and Del Ross. Dale gets a little flick of looseness, but he's going to keep it rolling, keeps that momentum going through the carousel. Meanwhile, East 951 and Dabcat through the Sargento Bridge, and it looks like a better exit on Dadcat's side. But East is just there within the car lane. He is closing on, and he's closing on Jen and Dale as well. How about Dabcat closing to the final turn? That looked like a great exit on East's side. Figured out what's going on in the front. Meanwhile, they go side by side in turn 1. Dabcat's going to go all the way up to the wall. Here's East down the outside into turn 2. Both of them going side by side. East down the inside, a crossover. Dabcat had a slightly better exit now into the carousel, with only about 1 car length separating these two. Meanwhile, Jen and Del Ross neck on neck, but Jen with some better exit through the chicane. You can see the battle between Dabcat and East in the background. These two have been going absolutely at it fiercely, as well as that going off for second place. 3 laps to go now. We are into the last legs of the race. Not impossible for things to go south. Dabcat and East 951 side by side again. This is one of the trickier corners here. Right up there to the wall. We've seen both these guys have issues there. As Jake is going to fall a lap down. And Johan is going to return, actually, funnily enough. So, not only have we seen Twin, we've seen Guerin, we've seen Johan. At this point, we might see Eris. I don't think so. But that would be kind of funny. East 951 gets a slightly better exit, but a worse one into the second to last turn. 2 simultaneous battles going on. We're trying to watch them both. It's just insane. Almost can't tell who to watch. Does look like it's closer there for the 4th place spot. Dabcat ever so slightly ahead of the 951 by about a car length and a half into turn 2. This is a turn that East can do well, or he could do badly on. It does look like it does a slightly better line. He's right there on his bumper. As Jake spins out behind the leaders, East and Dab side by side make their way down to the Firestone Bridge as they make their way through the S's. Both of them pretty much ignoring the cut, so we'll just let it slide. They make their way down the back straightaway. Dabcat is going to get the better exit. 2 laps left in this race. We are on the preliminary lap before it all wraps up. This is the last chance for things to, as I said, go south. But I don't think I do not see that happening here. It is, of course, a road course. All of our drivers are pretty much in their elements. It is closer between Jen and Del Ross, but as well as Dabcat and East. Better exit by Dabcat on this Sargento Bridge. As our leaders make their way down the back of the street. Yeah, Nico pretty much on his own this whole time. He is en route, and he's been knocking down those laps like nothing. Dabcat is extending his gap with East by about maybe a second. How about for second place? They look like they might be going side by side. Dell looking at the outside, looking down the inside through the sand trap sweeper and into the last chicane. Make our way under the Sargento Bridge. Nico gonna see the white flag pretty much any time now. And what an exit by Jen. Meanwhile, the white flag is gonna come out. Nico's on his final lap. And it is a closely knit battle there for the second place spot. They're still raging on, making their way down into turn 1. Side by side. And Dabcat makes a mistake. East 951 is going to make that pass, and I think that's about going to solidify it. And you guys still got a lap to go after this, by the way, once you cross the start-finish line. Dabcat and East. But that battle for second place absolutely raging on fiercely. Nico just needs to make his way to the start-finish line, and then he will have a victory here at Northwest Ohio under his belt. but Jen and Dale Ross, the final lap, both of them battling very fiercely. About about a car length and a half, but Jen closing in a little bit by little. Make her way now to sector 2. They are right on each other's tails. Nikolaus just in sector 3 needs to make a way through a couple of turns, and he'll have it solidified. Dabcat, and he needs to make their way into the final turn. Let's see, these two are about side by side, making the way closing to the last turn. It's going to be Nikolaus. We'll be watching them. These two going side by side through Sargento turn. How about Nico down the front straightaway? Nikolaus is going to win it at Northwest Ohio. Let's watch the battle for second place. It's raging on side by side. Dale is going to hit the second to last turn. Jen making his way. It could be it for him. He has solidified himself as second place. Dale's going to take home a podium. How about the thing going on between East and Dab? It's not over. It's a good gap, but if anything happens there for the 951, that could, as I've said, stir up the pot in a wild way. Dabcat is going to have to throw everything short of the kitchen sink if he wants a chance to get past these. There are some very tricky turns coming up here. And Dab is closing in that gap little by little, but it might be too little, too soon, too late here as Dale makes his way through the chicane under the Sargento Bridge, and that gap is just going to shrink more and more. East 951 into the second to last turn. Dabcat now about 2 or 3 car lengths behind, but East 951 is going to solidify himself in 4th place. Dabcat is going to take home 5th place, and Jake is going to cross, and he'll be solidified in 6th. What a great race today, folks, and what an awesome performance by the 95 machine. Gets it done. Always great to see it make it. And a little bit of donuts there on the front string. He'll be making his way up to the podium. So we got a podium there. If you look at turn 1, you guys can make your way over here. I'll be checking. I swear that we don't. I'll actually check right now. But I swear we don't, but I'll try my best to make sure. If we could get Nikolaus to the podium, we'll be playing his national anthem. If you could actually line it sideways, I think the car is little big, little fat. Little big gap there. Alright, so if we get Dale Ross and Jen to the podium. Good job, everyone. Good race. Glad that Northwest Ohio has put up a good road course event. Alright, East, can you stop the donuts for a second? I gotta take a photo. Alright. Hold up for a second. Gotta go, start. We will interview everyone here, but we're gonna actually need to pull up the national anthem. All right. So give me a second here. I'm gonna need to actually convert. Oh man, I was trying to get that. It's okay. My bad. I was not expecting. I forgot that there isn't like a Roblox version of the audio. Okay. So now we're gonna play the Trinity anthem for Nico. Good job. He's got the Lightning McQueen suit on. That awesome. All right. I am so sorry. Let me play that again. That is a consequence of low production quality. I'm very sorry. Looks like Dell's the only one that. We'll just screw you guys off and we'll get a word out of our race winner here, Nicholas. Very, very fine win. Good job done by you. How did the race for you go today? What brought you to victory lane?
I really just finding pace mid race. I was running about second slower than Gurum, and then I just really just tried pushing it, and I just got around, let's say, 4/10 off of him. And I just try to keep it consistent. I knew I was running a little faster than the other drivers, so I was hoping just to keep it a little slower, a little bit more consistent, and just see where that take me. And when Kiram left, that pretty much solidify a win on my end. Yeah, I'm very proud.
Well, an awesome job done, and glad to see you win on a track that I believe you're pretty familiar with. Is there anything particular about today's track that you were wondering about?
No, honestly, I've raced Northwest Ohio since it's very incarnation into SLC's lineup, and I've always found it as quite a fun track. I've always liked it. Love the flowing sections. So yeah, I've eventually got the groove and just kept it going.
All right. Well, it looks like you had an awesome job to get it out in such a dominant win. Honestly, after last week, I believe you got. Let me check where you were last week. I think I had a pretty rough race. Or
I
close.
think I'm up third or fourth.
Gonna check that. You got P3 last time, so bit of a redemption there from Windridge. I still can't say that fucking track name.
Let's not suddenly doing real well today, boy.
In it. Well, is there anything else you want to say before we move on to Jen?
Congrats to Jen and Dale for second and third. I couldn't see, but I heard very much that y'all were having a good battle for quite a while.
Absolute cinema.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you there, Nico. Enjoy that first place trophy, and we're gonna now get a word out of Jen. And you should be unmuted now. So, Jen placing P2, but what a battle that was with a Crucian, all the way up to the end. If you could bring me through what happened today.
Well, I was guilt tripped by East to join the race. I didn't really have any practice, nor have I ever driven ROX mods ever since, I think, last year, I think? It was last year.
It was Augusta. It was Augusta this year.
Oh,
But
I guess more recent.
Road course wise, it's been a while.
No, I haven't driven this in a long time, and during practice I spun like 10 times within the 2 minutes, so I honestly thought I'd be cooked. I thought I'd be like, last or something, because I didn't like how I was going this race, but I was happy to find pace, and somehow, as always, figured out how to make my car slide a lot. And consistency and hopefully, try not to die. I wasn't really too good on pace, but happy to say I did not make any mistakes other than just locking up. But it was a really good race. Dale and I raced for like seven laps straight. It was pretty good.
All right. Yep. Well, congrats on getting onto the podium. Again, it's exceeding your expectations. I know from the start of the race you were worried about being the last, but certainly that was not the case. So, if there's not anything else to say, we're going to move on to Dale.
Yep, I'm good.
All right. Thank you there, Jen. And up next is Dale, who was also in that battle all the way up to the end. Had a penalty, served the penalty, and probably one of the most fuck shit races I think I've ever seen in my life. You got lost in the forest there. I want to talk about that too, as well as the battle. What went on in today's race, Dale?
Poo fart.
Poo fart. So what was happening there in the forest?
Trees.
What brought you into the forest?
Look cool.
They do look cool.
What?
Like I said, as I interview with Dale, had a great race and gets a podium. The only person with a bottle of fizzy sparkling water left, and I think he's afraid to touch it. So we'll get a word out of fourth place, which I believe, as I read in the standings, it was East. So East here finishing P3. Again, P2 last weekend, P3 or P4 today. A lot of up and down. Had a lot of good performance over the front at the start of the race, but a couple of mistakes.
There was a lot of up at the beginning and a lot of down at the end.
You and Dab looked like you guys are getting really at it. I'd honestly say your battle was so
Not really. Not really. No, I was trying to see if I could get him to crash, and I got him to crash twice.
All right. So what?
Because I saw Jake was falling behind, and I was like, I wonder if I drop and just fucking stick. Just like stay inside of Dad Cat's car if I can get him to crash enough so Jake can catch him, but then Jake kept crashing. But dude, literally at one point I had like a 15-second gap over Dabcat, and I saw that Dabcat and Jake within 10 seconds, and I was like, I'm just gonna fucking hold second gear and wait for Dabcat to come, and then just like stay on his ass until he crashes. And Jake crashed like 3 times, so it didn't work. But I did try. And I did make Dabcat crash twice. So you know what? I'll win as a. Sorry, Dabcat.
Well, thanks for turning out today. I know a little bit of a up and down race, kind of just mid, I think.
Yeah, no, at the beginning it was great. At the beginning I was doing pretty good. And then, I spun once, and then I spun again, trying to catch back up. And then I was like just sitting midfield with no one for 40 seconds in either direction. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just drop back into the back and have fun.
All right.
Yeah, good race.
All right. Well, thank you there, East. If there's nothing else to say, we're going to move on to Dab. All right. That's East in P4. Now we're going to get word out of P5. Dabcat, who's had a bit of a rough race today.
And
But if you'd like to talk about it, you did outperform your teammate out of survival. But Hmm?
well, survival. I wouldn't say I really survived because one of my crashes was enough to kill me in real life. So,
what happened there?
well, I hit one of the chicane walls. Yeah, I came in way too hot, and yeah, may or may not have just like completely rammed into it like I did IRL in the same direction. Like almost a 1-to-1 the way I did the tree. So, if I had a nickel for every time I recreated my crash in a row racing game, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot. But it's weird that it happened twice.
I hope that it is just a coincidence.
I'm starting to think it's not. I'm starting to think it's not. But yeah, I could probably move on to the race. So race was great until it wasn't. I guess that's the best way to put it. Is it was really great until it wasn't. We started out really good. We had, East, Nico, Dale, and Jen in like an all like conglomerate glob in like the first like 5 laps or something. And then we kind of spread out a little bit, which was good. We were able to gain time and lose time. It gave us a good spot. And then East spun. I got ahead of him for a little bit. Then I spun. East got ahead of me, and it was just a swapping game for a bit. And it was just really chaotic. And I do think there's tire wear just because, like, some of the corners I'd come in, like, at the very last of the race. Like, I came around that last corner, and that car just did not want to sit straight at all. Um, I have that belief anyways. Maybe it's only certain cars, maybe, but I don't think that would be the case because it should be all.
I
So
checked
I guess it's
Jen's car and his car is clear, but I'll check yours. Or I checked
yeah.
Yoram's car. I'll check yours though.
Um, it's just weird. It felt like the cars were just losing traction the entire time. It could be placebo, to be completely honest. Could just be us driving the cars so hard that we just have a skill issue. Kind of just driving past our limits. So it could be that. I did feel like I had a feeling of just losing traction throughout the entire race. Not a big deal. I mean, I kind of did enjoy it at the end. I was trying to see if I could keep ahead of East as much as humanly possible. Apparently, I can't. I was trying my damnedest, but yeah, no, the car was fighting me really bad with that. It is unfortunate that the car fought me as hard as it did, which is why I say ROX Mods sucks. Anyways, I'm gonna put my bias aside. I really did enjoy the race. As I said, I talked to Nico about it. And I was like, it was a shame that I didn't get to battle everybody, or specifically Jen and Nico. But unfortunately, that's kind of how it crumbled. P5 is still good at the end of the day. It's better than what Jack and Braden did. Calling you two out. You chickened out again. But yeah, no, I love this race. This race was great. It felt like the OG times back when I very started with Gohan and all them, and it was worth sticking around.
All right, well, that's great to hear. And hopefully, when we get around to the Formula Micros, whenever that comes around, either tomorrow or Sunday, maybe you could have some luck on your side.
Maybe,
We'll see.
maybe.
We'll see. All right. Is there anything else you want to say before we move on to Jake?
Other than I again would like to thank Nico and Jen for getting here because it probably would not have been a very great race if that was the case. Really, anyone to be fair, because having a big race is very important. It gives people to race against. Having 3 people and all green race is just terrible. It's the worst thing to have. So again, thank you. And that'll be it. Time to do, I don't know, something stupid.
And I just got a cryptic message from APK about a night of destruction on Halloween at South Bend. I don't know if this is real or if it's his thing. We'll be updating you guys potentially next time we do anything.
Big D Randy is coming back, I guess, or something. I don't know.
We'll see. Thank you there, Dab, and hopefully things turn out better next time. And next up is T7 Jake in Sid's place. Let's see if he wants to interview. Jake, are you there?
I am.
All right. I know this is kind of just a driving race. I saw what you sent me. How are you feeling?
I'd say I had a little bit to drink, but I had a lot.
How much is a lot?
Oh, that's why.
I only drove because there were no other Toyotas, so I wanted to be that Toyota. But that's about it. Dabcat and I spun in the exact same spot on the exact same corner at the exact same time with I'd say less than a car's width between us.
Half a car. We literally spun inside of each other and landed in the exact same spot. It was like perfect cinematography. It was like we were having like a tandem drift battle, but only crashing. It was perfect. It could not have been executed any better.
Wonders of alcohol.
And autism.
I didn't even need the alcohol. I was just fucking spinning.
The power of autism and alcohol.
Every time I spun, I was like, these fucking setups.
So, on that note, and I will actually post this, I did check Dab's car and I checked Giram's car. And I do not believe that anything was wrong.
No, I think you guys are just bad. I think Giram got too cocky, and then Dabcat, I'm sorry. You're just shit at this track. You're just fucking bad.
Yeah, see, the crazy thing is I have good laps, but I don't.
No,
It's just
not
weird. It's like
really.
a fucking light switch. It really is. Because if
Dabcat,
I don't spin, I'm
I
really
literally followed you for in 8 laps just for the fuck of it. No, I'm telling you now. No, you're just bad at this track.
My one excuse is fuck ROX Mod. I hate that bitch.
There you go. Eris is alive, by the way.
Man, we had Twin, we had Giram, we had fucking
can't even-
Gohan.
I can't even
Matt.
lie. I wish I.
We've had everyone short of Eris.
Can someone donate me like a shot glass of alcohol, please?
How old are you?
17 going on 18. Please.
No fucking way.
Give me, please.
Can you pass me a vape, man? Can you pass me a vape?
Oh, fuck that.
Uh,
Dude, I just want a shot of alcohol to put in my milkshake because funny.
No,
That sounds
you are baby. We're
That
child.
sounds rancid.
That sounds really fucking bad.
No,
I mean,
no, vanilla milkshake with rum.
I mean,
That
compared
sounds-
to the
Jay,
field,
yeah, because
I
you're
think
a fucking alcoholic. You fucking.
I'm pretty
Jew
sure
Shut up.
Garrett.
here.
Sorry, I'm pretty sure Dabcat is the only person in the field under 20.
Oh, don't
Except
say
for
that.
Jackson.
He's a fucking baby, dude.
Dude, Jackson is so much younger than me. It's
I
crazy.
know he is. I know,
Jackson's like 14.
bro. He is a literal child. And also, Jackson, if you are watching this, which I know you're not, but if you are, by the slim chance, I
You
hope you're having a
suck.
lot of fun out. I think you were at Owasso, so or Winchester actually, might have been at Winchester actually. Wherever you're at, I hope you're having a real fun time, and hopefully we'll see you later. Yeah.
All right, guys, let's go play Southwest Florida. They had a fucking karting update. Let's.
Yeah, let's go.
Before we do wrap everything up, I am getting basically confirmation the South Bend Motor Speedway is not done, and it might
So you want to race
actually
at
be
Star?
saved. So it actually might be saved. So, that's right, folks. We are back, and well, we'll see where the future lies with South Bend. I'm very hopeful for the Indiana race community. It looks like a lot of things popping off. So that's pretty awesome.
South Bend's the really tiny one, right?
Yes, it's the smallest track in SLC.
Yeah.
I fucking dude, I do so fucking good at that. I don't think I've ever finished off. I
No,
think I've
it
finished
was-
second every time I've raced there.
So it was closed IRL, but apparently it's coming back like at the end of the month. Do like a night of destruction.
Dude,
After, like,
please
literally
tell me
being
we're
closed
gonna
for a
race
year.
midgets there. If we race midgets there and ROX Mod, that'll be the best fucking night.
I am thinking of returning South Bend. I don't know if I'm gonna use a version that Jackson makes or APKs, or if
That
we
track
just
is
stick
so good.
or if we stick to the OG version, which I feel like, even though it might not be accurate.
Dude,
Well-
I'm so pissed that Jackson, dude.
Why do we care about accuracy when we race at tracks that are?
That's what I was gonna get at. So we'll see. I think the shortness is
Where's
one
this
thing that's
fucking?
working.
Where's this fucking go-kart track at, Jake?
Oh, fuck what I know.
I don't fucking know. I figured you would have seen the update already.
All right. So I am gonna work to close up this stream. Thank you guys for watching. Either
Robo's
tomorrow
gay. Robo's
or
gay as fuck.
Sunday, we are gonna be racing the micros next weekend. We are bound
Let
for
us
the
see if
oval.
you're a
If things
fanboy.
go well, we might even do the Super Indies
Oh, he's a fucking fanboy.
on the road course, of course.
No one cares about Super.
New Hampshire sucks. It's for fags.
Oh, Southwest Speed karting circuit.
All right. So that being said, again, next week we are bound for the short track, as you can see. And thank you guys for watching. Till next time.